Well, the Declaration of Independence is the founding document of the United States. It explained to the world why the 13 colonies were no longer subject to British colonial rule. 56 delegates to the Second Continental Congress signed that document. Only one of them was Catholic. He was also the last living signer. Charles Carroll of Carrollton was born in Annapolis, Maryland in 1737, a brilliant defender of the Catholic faith who was styled first citizen. He played a major role in the birth of the young United States. Carroll also worked persistently to establish the concept of religious toleration, for we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
Some people say that the thing that drove Charles Carroll mostly to sign was because when he signed, he wanted to be known as the person who was signing for his faith, because his faith was so important to him.
All right, for more on Charles Carroll, let's bring in Scott McDermott. He is the author of Charles Carroll of Carrollton, Faithful Revolutionary. Scott, great to be with you today. I think it's really interesting. You know, at the time of the American Revolution, Roman Catholics were barred from participation in public affairs in Maryland and many other colonies, something that maybe a lot of people don't realize. How did Carroll overcome the discrimination of the time?
Well, Charles Carroll was a part of a dynasty in the sense that the Carroll family were still very influential in colonial Maryland, even though, like other Catholics, they had lost their political and civil rights. That was partly because they were very wealthy. But in Charles Carroll of Carrollton's case, it also had to do with the splendid education he received in Europe from the Jesuits, which filled him with the concepts of the Catholic political tradition, which he then brought back to the United States and brought into the conversation at the time of the American founding.
And Scott, now how did Carroll help to convince people that Catholics could also be good citizens here?
Well, first of all, Charles Carroll was greatly esteemed because of the brilliance of his intellect, because of his deep care for the common good, which, of course, is the object of politics in the Catholic tradition. He was also a man of the Enlightenment, which enabled him to speak with and form close relationships with other founders like John Adams and Benjamin Franklin. So it was his ability to commit to the cause of American liberty while still remaining true to the foundations of his Catholic faith that I think made him such a significant player in the American founding.
Yeah, Scott, what do you think was Charles Carroll's biggest contribution to the founding of the United States?
Well, I think he was instrumental in gaining religious liberty for Catholics and others. He served on the conference committee, which hammered the Bill of Rights into its final form. And also, again, it's that Catholic political principle of corporatism. Carroll believed in a limited and mixed government of checks and balances in which different bodies within the state would help to guarantee liberty by checking and balancing each other. And particularly, he was interested in creating a strong Senate. He was in the first United States Senate. And in his design for the Maryland Senate, he created another corporate body, an electoral college, to elect the senators. And the approving comments made in the Federalist Papers about this invention of Carroll's make it clear that this electoral college was borrowed for our constitutional system of electing the president. In other words, we don't vote as individuals, we vote as part of these corporate bodies called states, and that helps to guarantee liberty.
Yeah, and he was such a fascinating figure. But why do you think that he was left out of many historical accounts of the Founding Fathers?
Well, he was never president, for instance. In a sense, he never attained the highest heights of of political life in the United States, and that was partly because he had so many interests besides politics. But also, I think mainly this idea of Catholic influence on the founding has been invisible for a long time. And it's something that I think needs to have a hearing today, because I think it has the potential to really inform the debates that are going on in our republic today and hopefully resolve some of the issues that are troubling us.
Absolutely. Scott, thank you so much for your time today and your insights about Charles Carroll. We really appreciate it. God bless you and happy 4th of July.
Okay, thanks, Tracy. Same to you.